Kaitlan Collins accuses Karoline Leavitt of undermining press freedom over Gulf of America controversy. In a heated confrontation that has sent shockwaves through the media landscape, CNN's Kaitlan Collins lambasted White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt for what she described as an egregious assault on journalistic integrity. The clash erupted during a press briefing, following the administration's contentious decision to bar an Associated Press (AP) reporter from the Oval Office, a move Collins decried as a blatant attempt to strong-arm the press into adopting government-sanctioned terminology. By excluding the AP reporter, isn't the administration setting a dangerous precedent of retaliating against news outlets that don't conform to its prescribed language? Collins challenged, her voice tinged with frustration. How does this align with your professed commitment to the First Amendment? Leavitt, her demeanor steely, retorted with unwavering conviction. First of all, let me just set the record straight, she began, her tone brooking no dissent. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It is a privilege to be the White House press secretary, and nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask a president of the United States questions. That is an invitation that is given. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office. The tension in the room was palpable, as Leavitt continued, her words cutting through the charged atmosphere. It is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America, she asserted, her gaze fixed firmly on Collins. The Secretary of the Interior has made that the official designation and geographical identification name servers, and Apple has recognized that, Google has recognized that. Pretty much every outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America, and it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world. Collins, undeterred, pressed on, highlighting the broader implications of the administration's stance. Isn't it retaliatory in nature? She probed, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they are not using the phrase Gulf of America, they are using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent where this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language you guys believe reporters should use? Leavitt's response was unyielding. I was very upfront in my briefing. On day one, she declared, that if we feel there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. She reiterated the administration's position, emphasizing that the renaming of the Gulf was an established fact, recognized by major corporations and governmental bodies alike. The exchange has ignited a firestorm of debate, with critics accusing the administration of overreach and an affront to press freedom. Barring a journalist from an official event because their newsroom refuses to conform to government-imposed language is more than an attack on one reporter or outlet. It is an assault on the First Amendment and the public's right to know, asserted National Press Club President Mike Balsamo, reflecting a sentiment echoed by many in the journalistic community. Despite the escalating tensions, Leavitt remained resolute, underscoring the administration's prerogative to define official terminology and expectations for media compliance. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, she reiterated, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press who is in this briefing room today. As the controversy continues to unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between governmental authority and press freedom, a balance that remains at the heart of democratic discourse. For a visual account of the exchange, you can watch the following video. Your generation has no idea where this country has come from. Whoopi Goldberg's voice cut through the studio, her frustration spilling into the tense air. Her eyes burned, with anger as she leaned forward, pointing a finger at Colleen Litt, the young Republican star sitting across from her. Young politicians like you think you can shape the future by forgetting the past, but you're disconnected from reality. The audience fell silent. Colleen Litt, barely blinking, absorbed the fury radiating from Whoopi. The Hollywood legend wasn't holding back. Her voice carried years of experience, frustration, and exhaustion. We built this country. We fought through wars, through discrimination, through real struggles. And now people like you come along, thinking that just because you can tweet about something, you know better than those who came before you. You haven't seen half of what we have. Whoopi's hand slammed against the table, the impact echoing through the studio. But Litt didn't flinch. Instead, she leaned in slightly, her expression unreadable. Then, in a calm but pointed tone, she replied, "Did your generation solve all of America's problems that you now feel qualified to lecture us?" The words hit like a slap. A sharp gasp rippled through the audience. Even the other co-hosts shifted uncomfortably. Whoopi's jaw tightened. For a brief moment, she looked stunned, as if the weight of Lit's words had sunk deep into her. But then, her frustration erupted once more. "America is still standing because of us. We built the foundation that your generation now tramples on. You think you know better? You think your hashtags and viral videos are going to fix the economy, secure the borders, or restore values? Let me tell you something. Real change doesn't happen in a comment section. It happens through blood, sweat, and sacrifice." But Lit was ready. "And did your generation leave us a better country?" she shot back, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. "Look around, Whoopi. The borders are open, the economy is crumbling, and our values are under attack.